When you're watching the pitchers, I want you to think, what is their go-to pitch? Who are they as a pitcher? Who are they as a pitcher? What do they have? What pitches are they throwing? And how do they use them? And in what sequence? Do they have a pattern? Are they using the rise ball as a setup pitch? Do they throw a changeup and then the next pitch they jam the batters inside? Are you similar to the pitcher that you're watching? Welcome to the Weekly Dose. My name is Jamie Southern. It is opening weekend for college softball, and as a coach, my brain's going crazy trying to make sure I don't forget things, and we're scouting. Just like you guys get those nerves for that first tournament. Same for the coaches. We're all excited. We've been working so hard this fall and this January to prepare for these moments. This week, you might start watching college softball on TV or maybe in person. It's easy to get caught up in watching the game in general. There's lots to see, stealing bases and great plays and the cheers in the dugout, but do not waste an opportunity to learn from the pitchers. So if it's on TV, probably better because you're behind the pitchers, so you can watch a little bit more specifically of where their pitches are going versus in a game that maybe you can sit behind home plate and get a little bit better feel for that too. So I want you to think about some things. When you watch games of a tournament, you might be playing the winner or the loser, and you're just watching the game and you're learning little things, but be specific in what you're looking for. So from the pitchers, we can learn so much. If you have dreams of being one of the best pitchers in the country, then you have to learn from them. Okay. And so I want to give you some thoughts as you're watching, like, okay, I didn't think of it that way, or to be specific. When you're watching the pitchers, I want you to think, what is their go-to pitch? Who are they as a pitcher? Who are they as a pitcher? What do they have? What pitches are they throwing? And how do they use them? That is key because there's a pitcher that we're going to be facing this first part of the season, and she goes screwball inside first pitch. And if she gets a strike, she goes rise ball. She's very routine. Do you like that? Do you want to be a pitcher that's predictable? Is that going to help you, hurt you? Do you feel like you just get your strikes and you kind of, okay, I have to play it safe, but then I can go and take a risk and then I got to play it safe again? What kind of pitcher are you? When you're watching the pitchers, I want you to think about how they use their pitches. How do they use them and in what sequence? Do they have a pattern? How do they utilize their pitches? Are they using their rise ball as a setup pitch? Is there a pitch that they always go to after a rise ball? Do they throw a changeup and then the next pitch they jam the batters inside? Because those pitches might seem a little bit faster after they saw something so slow. So are you similar to the pitcher that you're watching? Then I want you to look at their mechanics. Can you point out some things that they could have fine-tuned? Maybe their glove gets too far away from their body. Maybe they don't use their front leg as well with resistance. Can you pinpoint some things now that you go to your lessons, now that you are starting to become this expert in this position that you play, to pick out flaws? Or, gosh, she's so good at using her front leg. Her posture is so good. I want you to do that because that's how pitching coaches see it. If I'm watching games on ESPN, some games I can't even watch because the pitcher is driving me crazy. And some I'm like, oh my gosh, her mechanics are so good. I notice those things. Do you notice those things? I want you to look at their mechanics. She might do something. She might start stepping over to her left for a screwball and to her right on a curveball. Do you notice those things? Do you do these things? Because if you can notice them, I know the other team already knows to pick up, and she's tipping her pitches. As you get older and you are on the mound in college, you're going to get picked. Batters are going to make adjustments. They might not make adjustments now. You throw 3-4 innings and then the time limit of your games are done. You don't have to go through the lineup so much now until you get to high school where you play a true 7-inning game. So can you tell which pitch is coming? Can you see maybe something that she does in her backswing with her arm? Does she stay open? There was a pitcher one time where she would go back further on her backswing for her fast pitches and then a little bit shorter on her changeup. Try to start seeing that. You're going to be a better overall player. Most of you bat, so this just helps you in general. Then after you look at the mechanics and you see how she's usually using her pitches with the sequencing, I want you to start seeing what her game plan is as the innings go on. Is she a pitcher that gets pulled? Why? Why did she get pulled? Would you have pulled her? Who's coming up in the lineup? Is she going through the lineup for the fourth time through? Maybe she just doesn't have enough to fool them anymore. Think about it. We don't always know the answer, but we can make our own assumptions. Maybe she's getting hit. Why is she getting hit? Did the batters start to make an adjustment? Did they start to get in the front of the box maybe for her drop ball, or they're starting to look for her go-to pitch? Is this pitcher throwing too many strikes? Is that why they pulled her? There's not a lot of swings and misses. I want you to start to see, wow, like these pitches are great for her. These pitches are good for her. This is bad. It's always just a ball. Then notice her game plan. So that pitcher that I was talking to you about, the second time through the lineup, I was like, oh, does she still do that? Or does she start going outside a little bit more? And she starts going outside a little bit more than the first time through the lineup. So her game plan might be, we're going to try to jam you, get ahead, go up, see if you swing at my rise ball. And then second time, we're going to throw some curves so you don't just look inside and turn on it. That was a lot that I just threw at you. And you probably haven't thought about all of that when you're the pitchers. But I promise you, you will become a better pitcher than a thrower if you start to think and see what the better pitchers do. You'll know. And if you find that the pitcher continues to use her rise ball the entire game, it must be a really good rise ball. If they're swinging and missing the third time through the lineup, then it is jumping like crazy. I want you to think, do the pitchers that are winning in the game that you're watching that are really successful, do they have a really great changeup? Because most of the pitchers that are elite at this top level, they have really good changeups. Do you have a good changeup? Do you have a great changeup? Can you work on it to become better? Do the pitchers that get pulled earlier in the games, do they have a good changeup or they don't? And maybe that's why batters have timed them. So watch with intent and learn from it. Every pitcher is different. So every game that you watch, take mental notes. Figure out what you would do. What would you tell your batters to do? Are you a pitcher that gets pulled in inning 5? Why? Notice the pitchers that get pulled and notice the pitchers that throw the complete game. What do they have that's different? What are their go-to pitches? What is their strikeout pitch? Do they get ahead with the same pitch and they strike out? It must be really good. It has a lot of movement. I love softball. I love softball season. This is how my brain works when I'm watching games. It's hard for me as a coach of pitchers to just watch and enjoy the game. I'm trying to see things, how they're doing it, ways that they could get better, and my brain just goes. I encourage you to stretch your mind while you're watching. Try to watch one college game a week. I know you guys are busy. I know that you have lessons. I know that you have high school ball. I know that you have travel ball. I get it. But be intentional and watch one game. Because you have ESPN Plus, you can pull up pretty much any game nowadays. Flow Softball's covering so many games. Find yourself a good game and digest and dig in to that pitching role if you want to be an elite pitcher and see what it takes. See what you have to have, okay? And then let me know what you notice. Let me know. Help me scout, okay? Good luck. I will see you next week.